Dadi Dadi Prakashmani, but I knew her as Dadi Kumaris. I first met her in 1985. I joined the Brahma Kumaris in 1984 in Sydney, and she had come out for a big program, Pathways to High Consciousness in Sydney. And I remember seeing her, I thought, oh my God, who is this incredible being? This white hair, white saris. She was really like a goddess. I'd never seen anyone like that before. But then in the subsequent years, until 2007, when she passed away, don't know how to say it, but you know, she left her body. I got to know her very well, and she was directly my teacher and my friend, my sister. And you know, sometimes with these spiritual elders, we can deify them and put them on a pedestal. Not that it's non-deserving, it's a very good pedestal. but sometimes what that can do is it can create a distance between us and them. That they are these divine, enlightened beings and we are just human effort makers. But there was one thing about Dadi, she never did that. And she could have. She ran the organisation from 1969, essentially, along with Big Didi until 1984, but then till 2007. So she was in a leadership position. But you know, she never did an MBA. She was from what is now Pakistan, and she learned to read and write, and she never did a leadership course or an MBA or anything like that. But she spent a lifetime learning about love, learning about real love, spiritual intimacy, absolute trust, these kind of things. This was her curriculum, the curriculum of her life. Her style of leadership was one of love. And this, you know, sounds like a simple thing, but you can imagine from the 30s, 40s and 50s until she passed away at 2007, what she must have seen through partition, through moving to Rajasthan, through the organisation going into the West and all these different countries and meeting all these different people, to consistently and persistently lead on the basis of love. So she led with love. And there are examples of this. That, you know, these sound like small things, but actually they're very big things. I think the small things are the big things. So there's something she used to do every Thursday at the Brahma Kumaris headquarters in Mount Abu, Madhuban, Pandit Bhavan. Every Thursday, she would go around to all the departments and just see what they were doing and how they were going. And sometimes she would take me with her if I was there, if I was in the courtyard, which is where we all used to hang out after morning class. She would take me with her. And, you know, I was just a young woman from the West and she ran the organisation. She would take me by the hand, oh, you know, and we'd, you know, she'd make these little noises because we couldn't speak to each other. At the time, I didn't speak any Hindi and she didn't speak much English. So it was just, the communication was on the basis of drishti, on the, you know, this kind of spiritual vision, the way you look at someone as a spiritual being. That's another thing about her. And heart, and, you know, and body language. There was nothing else, but actually that was a lot. So she would take me by the hand, and her hand was so soft, and we would walk together like sisters, like peers, like kin. And I felt like that. The power of her love was such that it could dissolve any barrier. And this is a very specific kind of leadership, and it's feminine leadership, and it's who she was as a woman. Because, you know, she was Dadi, which sounds a bit like deity, and I think there's no question of her divinity and her enlightenment. We use that term, but to be fully kind of awake and aware and accomplished. She was that. She became that. But she became that because she did the work. She became that not because someone touched her on the head with a peacock feather, but because she decided that's what she wanted to be. She decided who she wanted to be. She took power from the divine. She applied it in each and every circumstance of her life, every opportunity. And they're all, life is built up of small moments. I remember once I was going to Orissa and I went to say goodbye to her. And I had just approached her, and a very senior sister came up, and there was some kind of, well, I don't know what it was, but she approached Daddy with this kind of authority, like, well, I'm a senior sister and I get to speak to Daddy first. And Daddy just said very respectfully to her, "Ek minute, wait." And then turned to me and, "Haji?" And I said, "Yes." And she could have easily just said to me, "Wait a minute," and I would have totally understood. But she never had the attitude of hierarchy, never had the attitude of senior or junior or anything like that. Her vision was I see you. That was her vision. And, this drishti, this power of a spiritual vision, it has the power, I felt it from Daddy, to wake people up, to wake us up, to shake this inertia away, to remove the dust from our eyes. And one thing I learned about drishti was because she had done the work on herself, she had decided, I want to be this person that becomes the form of love. I want to be this person that becomes the form of love as a form of power. Again, it's that very kind of feminine. It's who she was as a woman, as a human. Because she decided she wanted to become that. As she was developing that, then whoever we are on the inside, we know the windows of the eyes to the soul. She would look at me in that way, and it would wake up that part of me. It would just wake me up. There are so many little moments like that. I'm trying to think of like a big story, but all the stories of Daddy, there were many, but they're moments that transform because of some simple thing, because of the simplicity of love. And it's not that she wasn't disciplined. It's not that she had to run this organization. She had to, we have a lot of disciplines in the Brahma Kumaris. Brahmacharya, a cruelty-free diet, vegetarian, vegan diet. We have early morning meditation. We have systems and customs, all kinds of things. And, it was up to her to keep that spiritual machinery going. And she did. She could say anything to anybody because it was infused with love. So, I could speak more, but no doubt others are going to say wonderful things about her. But these are just my feelings and what I learned from her. And I can tell you, my relationship with her transformed me. She was a living example of how to become something exceptional from being someone very ordinary. Ordinary as in simple, She didn't give millions of dollars to charity, you know what I mean. It's this simple, attentive application of love, moment by moment, minute by minute, day by day, year by year. So thank you so much for this opportunity.